Hello, Night fans, and welcome back to Joe Etzel Field as we are about to get set for Game 2 of our matchup today against the Yotes of the College of Idaho. Knights won Game 1 by a score of 12-4 behind a huge hitting. The biggest hits of the day coming from Alex Nisbet, who basically hit the error scoreboard out there, right under the word error. Nailed that thing. And then Mason DeVerna, the leadoff hitter, he almost hit the American flag out there in left center field. Those are some huge home runs en route to a huge 12-4 victory. Before said, Mason DeVerna, he's actually going to be pitching in this game as well as continuing to lead off for the Knights. He's going to be on the mound, and his battery mate is going to be none other than number 25, Matthew Revels. Connor Hill is going to be in left field to start the game. Colin Schiller, he's going to be at second base. Mitchell Toma-Britt, who had a great game last game, is going to be out in right field. The before-mentioned Alex Nisbet, number 4, he's going to be at first base for this game. Trent Lowe, he will stay at third base and bat 6th in the order. Then Matthew Revels is going to bat in the 7th hole, and he will be catching today for the Knights. Number 20, Jared Seibel is going to be in the 8th hole, and he's going to be playing center field just like last game. And Colby Barnes is going to be making the start at shortstop in the place of Connor Hill in the 9th hole. For the Yotes, the pitcher for the Yotes in Game 2 will be number 21, Dawson Cummings. Leading off for the Yotes will be number 1, James Hull. He'll be playing right field. And then 2 hole is going to be third baseman today, Ben Gaff. Then it's going to be number 9, Jack Ingram. He's going to be playing second base. Then in the 4 hole, it's going to be number 40, Caden Casagrande, who, after catching last game, is going to be at first base today. And then number 23, Jace Malky, is going to be the DH. He pinched hit in the last game, so he'll play in this. He'll bat in this game. Then the 6th hole will be number 11, Chandler Stocking, who's going to be at shortstop. Chandler moving up in the order. He was the 9 hitter in the first game. In the 7th hole, it's going to be number 29, Connor Olson. He will also be playing left field. And maybe the best name in baseball, as far as I can see, number 26, Pete Bacon. I do love Bacon, so that's a great name. He's going to be catching for the Yotes today. And then rounding out the order is going to be number 12, Cannon Morgan, who batted in the 8th hole in the previous game. He'll be playing center field. Alrighty, folks, we are ready to get started here after a handshake from Trent Lowe and Mason DeVerna on the mound. James Hull is going to be leading off for the Yotes. First pitch is grounded out to the pitcher, Mason DeVerna. He throws it over to Alex Nisbet at first base for the first out of the inning. Just like that. 1 out. Easy enough. Now batting is going to be number 2, Ben Goff, the third baseman. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Different umpire in behind home plate. It's the guy who was out in the field. He is now the home umpire. As they do switch every game. One will start in the field, and then the second game will come behind the plate. The other one will go out to the field. Next pitch from DeVerna is a little breaking ball. It's a little outside. Count as 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike, and 1 out. 1-1-1. Comes the pitch from DeVerna, and that's inside. A little bit tight. Guff had to kind of coil back from that one. Comes the pitch from DeVerna. That's swung on and grounded out to the shortstop. Throw over to first, and it's in time. Colby Barnes, who's at short this game, makes the play for the second out of the inning. Now batting for the Yotes is number 9, the second baseman, Jack Ingram. Already a quick 2 outs in the inning as DeVerna working quickly, getting the first batter to get out on 1 pitch, and then a couple pitches on the second one. Here comes the pitch from DeVerna. And that's a little bit low, according to the umpire, for ball one. Here comes the pitch from DeVerna, and that's high and outside for ball two. Count is 2-0. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from DeVerna, and that's just clips the bottom right edge on the outside corner. That's going to be a strike, and the count's going to be 2-1. I got an update for you from softball. Our girls are up 16-2 in the bottom of the fifth. Here comes the pitch, and it's another grounder to Chloe Barnes. He makes the throw across to Alex Nisbet, and that will end the inning. It was a very, very tidy 3 up and 3 down for Mason DeVerna in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first, Knight's first time up in this game. Score is 0-0.
It's time to burn calories, not cash, and get fit for summer at the #1 voted gym, Move Fitness.
For less than $1 a day, you can feel like a million as you squat those inches away.
Or pump up the cardio in a fun, exciting class. Whatever it takes, Move Fitness is here to help you get it done.
Jump in the gym this week and get fit for summer at Move Fitness.
Education with purpose. For nearly 100 years, Warner Pacific University has been helping students achieve a purpose-driven life with degrees to serve their calling. As a Christ-centered university, Warner Pacific offers a wide variety of undergraduate and postgraduate programs on our campus located in the urban heart of Portland. Whether you're a first-time student or a working adult, come discover what Warner Pacific has to offer. Warner Pacific University. Education with purpose.
I'm Trent Lowe, third baseman. This is Knights Baseball on Knights Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Stadium, Joe Etzel Field, I might say. As Mason DeVerna spun a very quick 1-2-3 top of the first, the Knights will be up, and Mason DeVerna, the pitcher, will lead off the inning. But as I was saying about the Knights softball, they're up 16-2, 16-4 right now on the Warriors in Salem, Oregon. Haley Ferguson, Kaylee Makanani, Brianna Munoz, Skylar Grosbeck, and Maylee Bode. They all have RBIs today. There's a list of RBIs, and we might get to it during this game at some point. But what a great day for Knights softball, as they look like they're about to win both of the games today. And barring the suicide bunt game winner, walk-off suicide bunt for the Warriors yesterday in Game 1, the Knights might have themselves a 4-game sweep. In steps Mason DeVerna. But a huge game. Last game, hitting that home run to left field. Almost hit the American flag out there. Takes ball one. Second pitch is in their bottom shelf for a strike. Count is even at 1-1. It's grounded down, third baseline foul. The Knights, with that win in Game 1 of this series, breaks a 16-game losing streak. The Knights hadn't won a game since the 22nd of March. And this being the 18th of April, it's good to get that win before it becomes a full month in between losses, or in between wins. Count now runs to 2-2 as he fouls that one off. Knights with the win get their 8th win of the year. They're 8-28. As DeVerna does strike out. Now batting for the Knights. It's going to be number 1, Connor Hale. Playing left field today. First pitch to Connor is a little outside for a ball. Comes second pitch, and that one's low and inside for ball 2. Counts 2-0. Count now is 3-0. Hitters count. See if he has the green light. He is a good hitter. We'll see. That pitch is in there for a strike. He did not get the green light. Taken all the way. It's like we got time. Pete Bacon, the catcher, had to adjust some things with his equipment. Looks like he's ready to go now. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And that's ball 4. Connor Hale is going to be on first base with a walk. Number 21, Colin Schiller, is up. See if he can continue this, get a rally going here. Throw over to first. It's not in time. First pitch to Colin Schiller is swung on and missed for strike. Comes the next pitch, and that's grounded foul down the first base side. Cummins comes set, looks over at first base, gets a sign from the catcher, Pete Bacon. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be just a little bit low, maybe a little bit outside as well, and the count's going to be 1-2 to Colin Schiller. Throw over to first base. Connor Hale's back in time once again. Next pitch is just a little bit outside. Count is even now at 2-2. Comes the next pitch, and that's going to be swung on in line to the center, and that's going to be a base hit. Colin Schiller works the middle perfectly. Shortstop. The shortstop, he did dive over and was just not able to get there. Ball squirted in the center field for a solid base hit for Colin Schiller. In steps Mitchell Tomabre, who had a whale of a game in Game 1. See if he can continue that here. First pitch is outside from Cummings. Still only one out in the frame. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on and line to the first baseman, who's now going to throw it to second for the double play. And that'll end the inning. Very unlucky right there for Mitchell Palmer-Britt. Very solid line drive, just right to the first baseman. And Schiller, who was going on contact, both of them were going on contact, were held up. That'll end the inning. Score through 1, 0-0.
Guess I won't be making my famous burgers.
Text everyone to cancel. The Rivera say it's not even raining at their house.
Aren't they like 2 blocks away? It is coming down out here.
It really is.
That was cheese.
Yes, it was.
Keep walking, Marge.
I bet this is a microstorm.
What's a microstorm?
I don't actually know.
My name is Sergio Soria, catcher. You're watching Nice Baseball on Nice Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Field, as the Yotes will have their try in the top of the second. Number 40, Caden Casagrande, is going to be the batter. He was the catcher in Game 1. In Game 2, he's the first baseman. Comes the first pitch from DeVerna. That's in there for a strike. DeVerna had a very, very nice, easy breezy top of the first inning as he went 1-2-3. He got the first batter of the inning to ground out on the very first pitch. And the next two batters, they both grounded out to the shortstop, Colby Barnes. Here comes the pitch, and that's check swing fouled off. He was trying to hold his swing back, but the ball found his bat, fought it off for strike 2. DeVerna comes set. He works from the stretch. Here comes the pitch. It's a nice little bender. And Casagrande, he knew that was a strike. He just walks right back to the dugout. What a beautiful pitch there from Mason DeVerna. He pulled the string on that one. Jace Mulkey is the next batter. See what he can do against DeVerna. Here comes the pitch from DeVerna. That's swung on and chopped down the third base side. Foul. Mulkey's ready. DeVerna's set. Here comes the 0-1 for DeVerna. And that's in there for strike 2. DeVerna is working. He is doing a really good job. He is hitting the corners of the plate. Hasn't really thrown a whole bunch in the middle. He is definitely on right now. Here comes the 0-2 from DeVerna. And that's swung on and once again lined down the third base side foul. Count stays at 0-2. Next pitch is in the dirt for a ball. I guess I should say in the turf. This whole field, this beautiful facility here on the campus of the University of Portland. It's all turfed up. Comes the set from DeVerna, and here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's high for ball 2. Counts even at 2-2. Here comes the next offering for DeVerna. The 1-2 tries to drop it in there near the top of the zone, but just misses. Count goes full at 3-2. That pitch is lined into left center field for a base hit. Mulkey gets the better of DeVerna there for the first hit of the day for the Yotes. Number 11, Chandler Stockings, steal up.
Now batting for the Yotes, the shortstop, number 11, Chandler Stocking.
And we do have a final from the softball field in Salem, Oregon against Corbin University. The Knights did pull that win out. They won 16-4. Comes the first pitch. That's in the dirt for ball one. So the Knights take 3 out of 4. They win the series. Remember, though, only the first 3 games of a series in softball count towards conference record, I shall say. And then the 4th game is just a non-conference game. Next pitch is low and away. So other than the walk-off suicide squeeze bunt that Corbin had in the 8th inning in extra innings yesterday in Game 1, the Knights owned the series. The next pitch is checked on, but that's a strike anyways. Strike 2. Count goes to 2-1. Knights lost Game 1 yesterday on that walk-off. Then they won Game 2 by a score of 10-2. Here comes the pitch, and that's swung on and missed. Ball gets away from Matthew Revels, allows the runner on first to scamper on to second on the pass ball. Count is 2-2. Then they won Game 1 today. The Knights softball did. They won 2-1 on only 3 hits. They only had 3 hits because they were saving all of their hits for Game 4 of this series, where they took it 16-4. Here comes the pitch from DeVerna. That's played by Colby Barnes, and that's going to be an E6 from Colby Barnes. Just couldn't get a grasp of it. He did stop it. Didn't get by him, but he just couldn't find it. By the time he picked it up, Stockings was already on first base.
29, Connor Olson.
Connor Olson is now the batter, left fielder. Runners on first and second for the Yotes, with 1 out still in the inning. DeVerna got a very quick out to start the inning, struck out Caden Casagrande. Since then, a couple runners have gotten on, one via base hit, first of the game, and now that E6 from Colby Barnes. First pitch is a strike. Matthew Revels, I guess he saw something. He's going out to talk to DeVerna. Revels is back behind the plate, ready to go. DeVerna comes set, looks back at second. Comes the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to get by for a wild pitch. Both runners will advance. Malky's in at third, and Stockings is in at second. Count goes to 1-1. Still only 1 out in the inning. Count is 1-1 on Connor Olson. Comes the pitch. That looked like that might have been just in there, but thought otherwise, and count goes to 2-1. Next pitch is, that's going to be a base hit through the hole between third and short. That's going to score 1. Jace Mulkey, he comes in to score. Connor Olson, it's an RBI base hit. The Yotes lead 1-0. The pass ball on that wild pitch comes to haunt the Knights there. Catcher Pete Bacon now up for the Yotes. Runners now at the corners, first and third. Still one out. That first pitch from DeVerta is in there for a strike. He just needs to settle down. Things have happened in this inning. He's got to settle down and continue to trust his defense. Trust the catcher and signs. Make some pitches. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's a ball. The pitch out, throw down to first base to Alex Nisbet from Matthew Revels is not in time. Runner gets back in time. Looked like that might have been a strike, but since Revels is popping up to throw over to first, sometimes I feel like that might make it harder for the umpire to see the pitch. That pitch is lined to the shortstop, maybe a double play, and it's not going to be. The throw over to first is a little bit wide. Nisbet is not able to pick it. It'll be a fielder's choice. The runner on second will be out, but the runner on third does come across the score. The Yotes lead 2-0 here in the top of the second inning.
Now batting the center fielder, number 12, Cannon Morgan.
There is 2 outs in the inning. Number 12, Cannon Morgan is up. First pitch is in and tight for ball 1. Yotes have 2 hits in the inning. Here goes the runner. The pitch is a strike, and the throw down to second is a decent throw, but not in time. Credit Pete Bacon with the stolen base. Count is 1-1 on Cannon Morgan, who is the 6th batter to come up in the top half of the second inning. Still 1 out. Scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There's 1 error in the frame. Comes the pitch from DeVerta, and that's swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2. Here comes the pitch from DeVerta, and that's strike 3. That'll end the inning for the Knights, as that is the strikeout that ends it. And the Yotes do get 2. They get 2 runs on 2 hits. There is 1 error contributed in there from the Knights. Your score through 1.5. Yotes 2, the Knights 0.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Martin Cooper makes the mobile phone.
Elvis Presley died today.
The Space Shuttle Challenger is destroyed.
Have you played Pac-Man?
The 1996 Olympic Games is awarded to Atlanta.
Awaiting the new millennium and the Y2K bug.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Introducing iPod.
Barack Obama has been elected president.
I pronounce that William and Catherine may be man and wife together.
Happy New Year. We wish you a happy and healthy 2014.
A lot has changed in the last 50 years, but there's one thing that hasn't. The Chick-fil-A Chicken Sandwich.
I'm Nikolai Winston, and I play outfield, and you're watching Knights Baseball on Night Network.
Welcome back to Knights Baseball at Joe Edsel Field on the University on Portland's campus. Leading off the inning for the Knights is number 4, Alex Nisbet. The Yotes scored 2 in their half of the second inning. They have a 2-0 lead as Nisbet steps in. First pitch is a check swing strike. I think the strike was on the swing. Nisbet looked back to the umpire just to make sure. Second pitch is Swan, a miss, no doubt about that one. Count goes to 0-2. Alex Nisbet in game 1 had a great game with 4 hits. He went 4 for 5. Beautiful job from him.
The third baseman, number 13, Trent Lowe. Now batting for the Knights, the catcher, number 25, Matthew Rebels. The center fielder, number 20, Jared Seibel. The shortstop, number 26, Colby Barnes.
Sorry, folks, had to step away, had some stat difficulties, but while I was away, perfect timing, Alex Nisbet hit another home run. And then that followed with Matthew Revels. He hit a home run as well. It's his first home run of the year. So the Knights have tied the game at 2-2. They're 26. Colby Barnes is up. There's one away here in the bottom of the second inning. And Colby Barnes, he strikes out. Now there's 2 outs in the inning. Now back to the top of the order, and Mason DeVerna. Alrighty, a little bit more stat difficulties. Hopefully all of that is squared away. As Mason DeVerna is up, and he's going to line it to the second baseman for the final out of the inning. But the Knights do play 2 on 3 hits. A couple home runs, one by Alex Nisbet and one by Matthew Revels, the catcher. We'll be back in about 40 seconds.
Welcome to Move Fitness.
Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Sign up now with no enrollment fee. Move Fitness.
Let's go.
for the Yotes, the third baseman, number 2, Ben Gaff. Now batting the second baseman, number 9, Jack Ingram.
Alrighty, I think we are back and we are good to go now. Jack Ingram is going to be the batter now for the Yotes with 2 outs here in the top half of the third inning. Here's the pitch from DeVerna. That's in there for strike 1. Apologize once again for that delay. Second pitch is inside for ball 1. Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Comes the next pitch from DeVerna, and that's laced to the second baseman just over the outstretched glove, as he did jump up high to get it. Was not able to quite get it, and that's going to be a base hit.
Now back for the Yotes, the first baseman, number 40, Caden Casagrande.
Caden Casagrande is now the batter, number 40. First pitch to Casagrande is in there for a strike. Next pitch is fouled off the plate. Strike 2. Casagrande is ready. DeVerna is set. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And that's outside. Wasted one. Tried to get him to chase. Did not bite. Count goes to 1-2. Jack Ingram gets his lead at first base. And DeVerna looks in for the sign. He gets it. Here comes the 1-2 offering. And that swung on and missed. Mason DeVerna strikes out the side, with the exception of 1 base hit mixed in between. A beautiful start here so far from Mason DeVerna. And in the middle of the third inning, we have a score of 2-2.
It's time to burn calories, not cash. Summer at the #1 voted gym, Moo Fitness.
For less than $1 a day, you can feel like a million as you squat those inches away.
Or pump up the cardio in a fun, exciting class. Whatever it takes, Moo Fitness is here to help you get it done.
Jump in the gym this week and get fit for summer at Moo Fitness.
My name's Jared Seibel, center fielder for Warner Pacific Baseball, and you're watching Knights Baseball on Knights Network.
Leading out for the Knights, the left fielder, number 1, Connor Hale.
Welcome back to Joe Edsel Field. Knights are up in the bottom of the third inning, leading off with number 1, Connor Hale, the left fielder. Connor Hale in his first at-bat, he walked. First pitch swung on, missed. Strike 1. Comes the next offering. That's low and away for ball 1. Count is even at 1-1. Comes the next toss from pitcher, and that's in for a strike. Count goes to 1-2 on Connor Hale. Next pitch, and Connor Hale, weak swing and a miss. Got fooled on that one, he knows it. Walks frustratedly towards the dugout. He strikes out. For the first out of the inning, and in steps number 21, Colin Schiller. Colin Schiller does have a base hit. He had a base hit in the first inning. That's the one of those in the first. First pitch, and he grounds to the first baseman. Pitcher covers position nicely. Toss from the first baseman on to Dawson at first is in time, and there's 2 outs in the inning. Number 6, Mitchell Toma Britt steps in. He had a very unlucky first at-bat of the day. He lined out to the first baseman, and both runners, we had runners in first and second, both runners, they started to run on contact. Then they were able to get the out at second base as well after the line out for the double play that ended the inning. The second pitch of the at-bat, it's low, and we got a count of 2-0 to Toma Britt. Next pitch is also low, and count goes to 3-0. Comes a 3-0 pitch. Cummins working very fast. And that ball is in there for a strike. Comes a 3-1 pitch to Mitch. And that's outside, and Toma Britt gets his walk. And the Knights have a base runner on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. And in steps Alex Nisbet, who continues his amazing day in his last at-bat, homering to left field. For center field, actually. It was dead center field. Right above the 388 mark, probably went about 395. It's the first pitch to him, and that's going to be a strike. Looked like it might have been a little bit low, but uncalled a strike, and the count is 0-1. Comes the 0-1 to Nisbet, and that's swung on and lifted maybe to the gap, but the right fielder looks like he might have a play, and he does not. That thing bounces off of the fence, and Alex Nisbet is going to have a double. That's actually going to maybe score a run. Head first slide from Toma Britt, and the Knights have the lead. Nisbet continues his absolutely hot start to this series. Went 4 for 5 in game 1, and he started 2 for 2 in this game with a home run and now a double off the fence. They might have to start thinking about intentionally walking that man. Trent Lowe, number 13, now up. See if we can get another base knock here and drive Nisbet in. First pitch is in there for a strike. Toma Britt was showing the wheels off there. He went from first to home on that. He did slide in. He did dive in head first, but he might have been able to get it in standing up. He was that quick. Second pitch is fouled off right behind the screen. Quickly, the count is 0-2. The Knights have been doing this now with 2 outs. Comes the next pitch, and that's outside. Count is 1-2. Here comes the next offering, and that's going to hit Trent Lowe right in the middle of the back. He's going to take his base, and the Knights are going to have runners on first and second, still with 2 outs. Starting pitcher from Game 1, Aiden Yeager, is on bat duty. He comes out and picks up Trent Lowe's bat. And here comes Matthew Revels. Man, he's got an amazing walk-up song. From what I was told, it seems like his parents picked it, so good on them. He's got some good taste. First pitch is in the dirt. Fake throw down to second. Nisbet does get back in time. He slides in there. Revels is the first home run of the year. Out to left field. Next pitch is in there at a strike. Unfortunately, we had some difficulties with some stats, so I wasn't able to actually see it. But from what I saw, from what I heard, the thing was an absolute laser to left field. Next pitch is in there on the corner for a strike, and now Revels is going to have to protect. The count is 1-2. Comes the 1-2 pitch, and that's outside. Another fake throw, 2 second. This time Nisbet does see it, and he does not dive in. First time, Pete Bacon, the catcher, he did fake a throw down to second, and Nisbet bought it, and he dove. This time, he almost did, but he saw he held onto it and did not dive. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that's laced to the left field again. Maybe that might drop. The left fielder drops right in front of him, and that's going to be another RBI. Nisbet comes in to score, and Lowe is into third base from first, and Matthew Revels has himself an RBI single to left field. In steps Jared Seibel, number 20. The Knights have scored 2 runs, all with 2 outs. Nikolai Winston is going to be the courtesy runner for the catcher on at first base. First pitch to Seibel is low and away for ball 1. Knights, they started this inning with a strikeout. Connor Hale struck out. Then Colin Schiller, he grounded out to first base. That's 2 outs, and then the Knights went from there. Had no runners on base with 2 outs. And now they plated 2. Helped with the walk, a double, and a hit by pitch. And then another base hit. Next pitch is skied off to the right. First baseman is ranging over, and it looks like he's not going to have a play. That thing bounces on top of the Yotes dugout and all the way over to the dangerous parking lot over there. And the count is 1-2. Still 2 outs. Knights lead 4-2. Runners on the corner. Here comes the pitch from Cummins. And that's going to be outside, and the count's going to run even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Comes the next pitch, and that's going to be chopped foul third base way. Julius King is over there to pick up the ball and take it back to the dugout. Seibel did have 1 hit in game 1. Looking for another one here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. A nice attempt of a frame job there by the catcher, Pete Bacon, but to no avail, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. With two outs, both runners will be leaving at the pitch. Here comes the pitch, and that's outside, and Seibel walks, and now the bases are loaded. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs, and Colby Barnes is now the batter.
Now batting for the Knights, the shortstop, number 26, Colby Barnes.
Colby Barnes is the 8th batter to come to the plate, and the 6th batter to come to the plate after the Knights already had 2 outs. First pitch is cut on a miss, a real healthy swing. A little bit early on that. Count goes 0-1. Knights have already scored 2 in this inning. Here comes the next pitch, and that's fouled behind me. Somebody's car probably got crunched. Count goes to 0-2. Here comes the pitch. Pete Bacon, catcher, tries to frame again to no avail, and the count goes to 1-2. Comes the 1-2 pitch. And that's swung on a line, but that's going to be right to the center fielder for the out. And that will do it for the Knights in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but that was productive. They got 2 runs. The big hits coming from Alex Nisbet, who picked up another RBI, and Matthew Revels. We go to the top of the 4th inning. The Knights 4, the Yotes 2.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
It's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles! Martin Cooper makes the mobile phone.
Elvis Presley died today.
The Space Shuttle Challenger is destroyed.
Have you played Pac-Man?
The 1996 Olympic Games is awarded to Atlanta.
Awaiting the new millennium and the Y2K bug.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Introducing iPod. Barack Obama has been elected president.
I pronounce that William and Catherine may be man and wife together.
Happy New Year. We wish you a happy and healthy 2014.
A lot has changed in the last 50 years, but there's one thing that hasn't. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Leading out for the Yotes, the designated hitter, number 23, Jace Malky.
We are back for the top of the 4th inning. with Jace Mulkey leading off. Count is 1-1. Here comes the pitch from DeVerna, and that's low and away for ball 2. Count goes to 2-1. Next pitch is chopped down the third base side, foul. DeVerna has been very efficient, only throwing 52 pitches so far. He does have 6 strikeouts, and he has not walked a batter. Comes the next pitch, and that's low and outside. The count runs full at 3-2. If he does walk this batter, I will take full responsibility. Announcer Jinx. And then the pitch is swung on and missed. That's going to be strike 3. And the Yotes are going to have 1 out in the inning. DeVerna fights back, and he does not walk the batter. He does not pull off the announcer's jinx. And he strikes out Mulkey. Now Chandler Stocking is due up. Comes the first pitch to Stocking. And that's a breaking ball that misses. Ball 1. Comes the next pitch from DeVerna, and that's outside, or inside, for ball 2. Comes the next pitch from DeVerna. That's low for ball 3. Count is 3-0. Comes the pitch from DeVerna. That's in there for a strike. Trying to get himself back into that count. Count is now 3-1. Next pitch just swung on and missed. DeVerna has worked himself back into this count. The count is 3-2. See what his best put-away pitch is here. He might be going back to that slider. It's been working for him. We'll see. DeVerna comes set. And here comes the pitch. And that's swung on and missed. A weak wave by Chandler Stocking. And that's 2 outs now in the inning. And DeVerna is absolutely shoving right now. Number 29, Connor Olson, is now due up.
Number 29, Connor Olson.
In the top of the third, DeVerna struck out the side, with the exception of a 1 base hit after striking out the first 2. Now he struck out the first 2 in this inning. First pitch to Olson is fouled off to the right side. Knights so far in this series have seen some great pitching and some great offense. Pretty good recipe for winning. Here comes the pitch from DeVerna. That drops in there for a strike. All Connor Olson could do is watch that thing as that thing just bent back over the middle as DeVerna pulled the string. Count quickly goes to 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That's just outside. Came at him with the bender again. Just missed. Count goes to 2-1. 1-2. DeVerna comes set, looking to strike out the side. Here comes the pitch. And he caught him looking. Connor Olson watched a strike that just absolutely painted the black on the outer edge. And Mason DeVerna, he strikes out the side again. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Knights are up 4-2.
Welcome to Move Fitness.
Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Let's go. Let's go.
Sign up now with no enrollment fee. Move Fitness. fitness.
Hi, my name is Jeff Bard, head coach at Warner Pacific University. You're watching Knights Baseball on the Knights Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Field, as we are now in the bottom of the fourth inning. The pitcher, Mason DeVerna, is due up, the man who just struck out the side to end the top of the third. See if he can help himself, maybe get a knock here. First pitch looked like a little bit inside. DeVerna did bend out of the way of it, but the umpire did see it as a strike, so the count is 0-1. Second pitch is cut on a miss for strike 2. Next pitch goes all the way to the backstop. The count goes to 1-2. And then Pete Bacon sails the new baseball that was handed to him from the home plate umpire all the way to second base. It's a weird little 5 seconds of action there with nothing coming out of it. No runners on. Comes the 1-2 pitch. And that's line. That might be a gapper. That hits the wall. That's going to be extra bases for Mason DeVerna, who's going to help himself with a no-out double. Next up is number 1, Connor Hale, who struck out swinging on a pretty weak wave his last time up. You can definitely make up for that with a base knock right here. Bring in DeVerna. Knights have a runner on second and DeVerna with no outs. Comes a pitch from Cummings. The bunt attempt, that's fouled back. Cummins looks in from the sign for Bacon. Here comes the pitch. And that's inside. Count is even now, 1-1. Knights scored 2 in the bottom of the third inning. They would love to get more here in the bottom of the fourth. They have a 4-2 lead. Here comes the pitch, and that's swung on to the second baseman. The second baseman gathers it cleanly, throws on to first for the out. But on the plate, DeVerna does get himself to third. And the Knights now are in a great position here with a runner on third with just 1 out. A decently healthy fly ball scores Mason from third. Number 21, Colin Schiller, is up. See if he can do just that. First pitch is a little bit high. I guess it might have clipped the top edge of the zone for strike 1. Count goes 0-1. Next pitch is outside. Count is even at 1-1. Here comes the pitch from Cummings. Swung on a missed. Count is 1-2. Cummings looks in for the sign. Here comes the pitch. That's laced right up the middle. Cummings makes the catch. Thing was coming out on about 100 miles an hour. I don't know if that was skill or luck, but it happened. And he throws over to third, who gets the out on DeVerna there, who was caught in no man's land. And the Knights are turned away. Knights are turned away here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They'll go to the top of the fifth. The score, Knights 4, the Yotes 2.
It's time to burn calories, not cash, and get fit for summer at the #1 voted gym, Moo Fitness.
For less than $1 a day, you can feel like a million as you squat those inches away.
Or pump up the cardio in a fun, exciting class. Whatever it takes, Moo Fitness is here to help you get it done.
Jump in the gym this week and get fit for summer at Moo Fitness.
My name's Matthew Revels. I'm a senior catcher, and you're watching Knights Baseball on Knights Network.
Welcome back to Knights Baseball here at Joe Edsall Field. Number 26, Pete Bacon, the catcher, due up for the Yotes in the top half of the fifth inning. Here comes the pitch from DeVerna. That's inside for ball one. DeVerna helped himself last inning. He got a double off the wall, but then he actually was the butt end of a double play at the end of that inning, when unfortunately we lined out to the pitcher. And DeVerna was caught in no man's land. He threw over to third base and got the double play. And there's already one out in the inning. It was a great play by their pitcher, Dawson Cummings. Here comes the 2-0 count to Pete Bacon. And that's in there for a strike. Count goes to 2-1. Comes the next pitch, and that's fought off, and that's going to be an easy play there for the second baseman. For the Knights, it's Colin Schiller. He makes the play, and there's one out in the inning. In steps number 12, Connor Morgan. Cannon Morgan, my apologies. Comes the first pitch to Morgan for DeVerna, and that's in there for a strike. Comes the next pitch from DeVerna, and that's a weak wave and a miss from Morgan. DeVerna quickly gets ahead, 0-2. See if DeVerna can get him out in 3 pitches. Comes the pitch from DeVerna. Morgan has to lean back a little bit. I don't think it was that much inside, but ball one's the call, and the count is 1-2. Comes the 1-2 offering from DeVerna, and that's spiked into the dirt. Gets away from the catcher, Matthew Revels. The count gets even at 2-2. Comes the 2-2 pitch from DeVerna. That's high, and Morgan works the count all the way from 0-2. Battles back to make it 3-2. That's the payoff pitch for DeVerna. That's laced to left field, but we do have a man there, but it does bounce in front of him. Oh man, it bounces in front of him and actually gets past him. That's going to be a Single for Connor Morgan with the air pushing Connor Morgan to second base.
Now batting the right fielder, number 1, James Hull.
Number 1, James Hull is up. Connor Hill is in left field. He doesn't play left field a whole bunch. He misread it. It just bounced in front of him and then just kind of bounced right by him. Allowed the runner, Morgan, to get to second. Here comes the first pitch to Hull, and it's a strike. Comes the next pitch from DeVerna. That's swung on and grounded to Colin Schiller at second base. He throws it on to Alex Nisbet for the out. On the play, Cannon Morgan moves on to third base, and there's 2 outs for the Knights. Number 2, Ben Gaff is the hitter. Run on third. Hopefully that E7 does not come across as a run. Comes the pitch from DeVerna. And that's swung on in line to right field, but it's right at the right fielder, and he makes the catch for the out. That's Mitchell Tomabrit out there in right field, who is perfectly placed and records the final out of the inning, and that E7 does not come back to haunt the Knights. The Knights keep the Yotes off the board, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score, the Knights 4, the Yotes 2.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles! Martin Cooper makes the mobile phone.
Elvis Presley died today.
The Space Shuttle Challenger is destroyed. Have you played Pac-Man?
The 1996 Olympic Games is awarded to Atlanta.
Awaiting the new millennium and the Y2K bug.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Introducing iPod. Barack Obama has been elected president.
I pronounce that William and Catherine may be man and wife together.
Happy New Year. We wish you a happy and healthy 2014.
A lot has changed in the last 50 years, but there's one thing that hasn't. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Hi, I'm Aiden Yeager, starting pitcher. Thanks for watching Nice Baseball on Nice Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Field. We do have a pitching change for the Yotes. It's going to be number 13, Caden Campa, to come in relief for the starter, Dawson Cummins. Caden Campa, he's 0 for 1 on the year in 9 appearances. He's got a 12.34 ERA. So maybe, hopefully, the Knights can touch him up for a few runs this inning. And leading off for the Knights will be the man who actually recorded the final out in the top of the 5th inning on that line out to right field. It'll be number 6, Mitchell Tomabrit.
Now batting for the Knights, the right fielder, number 6, Mitchell Tomabrit.
First pitch to Mitch is swung on and possibly fouled off. Either way, it's 0-1 as the count. Tomabrit, he is... Next pitch is outside for ball 2, or for ball 1. Count is 1-1. In his first at bat, he lined to the first baseman. He was the one who started that double play in the first inning, and then he walked on a second at bat. Here comes the pitch, and that's in there for a strike from Campa. And the count is 1-2. was a 1-2 pitch from Campa. That's Swan on a missed, and Mitchell Toma Britt strikes out, becomes the first victim of the bottom of the fifth inning. And in steps the super hot batter of Alex Nisbet. Nisbet is 6 for 7 to start this series. 4 for 5 in the first game, and now he's 2 for 2 in game 2. First pitch is Swan on miss. That was a healthy cut for strike 1. In case you missed it, Nisbet had a 3-run home run in the first game. Then he hit himself another home run, a solo shot in the second game. And this one knocks right off of his helmet. Nisbet will take his base. He looks to be okay. I'm sure he felt that one. Tough way to make a living. And Trent Lowe, number 13, steps in.
Number 13, Trent Lowe.
Comes the pitch from Campa. That's in there for strike 1. Second pitch is lined into the dugout of the Yotes on the first base side. Everyone looks to be okay. That thing was laced. Thing was probably somewhere around 100 miles an hour off the bat. Everyone did a good job of bailing out of the way in there. Count is 0-2. Here's the pitch from Campa. Tries to pull the string, but the string does not pull. Pete Bacon has to rise out of his squat to catch that ball before it hits the backstop. Good job from him. And the count goes to 1-2. Comes the pitch from Campa, and that's outside. There's the next pitch from Campa, and that's on. That might get through the right side for a possible. Ooh, man, what a play. What a play. I got to give him his flowers. Jack Ingram. I thought that thing was going to squirt through, but it held up just enough for Jack to get over, range over to it off to his left. He got the ball spun and made a nice little toss over to first base to get the out on Trent Lowe. On the play, Nisbet does get to second, however. And Matthew Revels steps in, who has already homered today. Two outs for the Knights here in the inning, with Alex Nisbet on second base. First pitch is lined to center field, and that's going to be a base hit. No doubt about that one. There's another base hit for Matthew Revels. Nisbet is trying to score, and it looks like he's going to. And then Revels, he is going to, on the throw, make it all the way to second base. So give him a single and an RBI, and then advance him to second on that throw. Beautiful job there from Matthew Revels, who has already homered today, and then he also had a single in the third inning that drove in a run. Now he does it again, so he's 3 for 3 on the day. Great day for him as well. There's been some great days for a lot of Knights hitters today. Nikolai Winston, once again, is the courtesy runner in at second base for Matthew Revels. There's a pitch from Campa, and that's a healthy swing by Jared Seibel, who's the batter now, and count goes to 0-1. Knights have scored another run, pushes their lead to 3, scores 5-2 in favor of the good guys. Campa comes stretch, and here comes his pitch, and that's lofted to center field. It looks like center fielder's going to be there to make the catch for the final out in the inning, and he does. But the Knights do play to run. Matthew Revels with that RBI single brings another runner across, and we go to the top of the 6th inning with the Knights up 5-2.
Education with purpose. For nearly 100 years, Warner Pacific University has been helping students achieve a purpose-driven life with degrees to serve their calling. As a Christ-centered university, Warner Pacific offers a wide variety of undergraduate and postgraduate programs on our campus located in the urban heart of Portland. Whether you're a first-time student or a working adult, come discover what Warner Pacific has to offer. Warner Pacific University, education with purpose.
My name is Matthew Revels. I'm a senior catcher, and you're watching Knights Baseball on Knights Network.
Leading on for the Oaks, the second baseman, number 9, Jack Ingram.
Welcome back to the University of Portland. Leading off for the Oats is number 9, Jack Ingram. DeVerna, first pitch to Jack Ingram is in and tight for ball 1. The Knights scored another run in their half of the 5th inning to extend their lead to 5-2. Comes the next pitch, and that's swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-1. Knights have 6 hits on the day. They're out hitting the Yotes 6-4. Knights do have an error, but that error did not prove costly as the Knights got out of that inning. Next pitch to Jack Ingram is a ball outside. Count is 2-1. Comes the next pitch from DeVerna to Ingram, and that's high and outside for ball 3. DeVerna has still not given up a walk yet. He has struck out 8 batters. He's been absolute nails so far today. See if he can continue that streak. Here comes the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. And he evens the count up, or he pushes the count to 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that's swung and laced down the right field line. That's going to get down, and that's going to be a single for Jack Ingram. He makes a wide turn at first base and scampers on back. Holds there. Next up is number 40, Caden Casagrande. Casagrande, he caught in the last game, game 1. In this game, he's playing first base. Casagrande, he has struck out twice. To DeVerna. Struck out in the 2nd and the 3rd inning. See if DeVerna can get him 3 times. Comes the first pitch, and that's, thought that might have been in there, but I guess it was inside just a little bit, and the count goes to 1-0. Comes the next pitch from DeVerna. It's a strike, and the runner goes. The throw down to second from Matthew Revels is in time. Jack Ingram. He thought he could steal. He could not. Matthew Revels threw an absolute laser down to second base, and the tag applied. Jack Ingram is retired. Next pitch is a strike, and the count is 1-2 to Casa Grande. Matthew Revels is having himself a whale of a day. Comes a pitch from DeVerna, and that's grounded left side. Foul. Revels has a home run and 2 hits, driving in 3 runs. And now has showed up defensively, nailing a guy at second trying to steal. So doing it from every position. Comes the pitch, and that one, I don't know how that didn't hit Casablanca. I don't know how that didn't hit Casa Grande, but somehow that thing sneaked behind him and then hit the tip of the bat for a foul ball, and DeVerna is heading the count 1-2. That's crazy. See if DeVerna can use some of that luck here and capitalize and get a strikeout. Here's the pitch, and that's gonna be a strikeout. The umpire was a little bit late on his call. Wasn't sure if it was on the swing or the pitch. Neither was the batter. But either way, it's a strikeout. His 9th of the game for DeVerna. And that's Casa Grande's 3rd strikeout to the hands of DeVerna. Number 23, Jack Malky, is the batter with 2 outs. And he's going to get a base hit. That one's lined up the middle for a base hit. Jared Seibel, the center fielder, is there to cut it off and get it in.
Now batting number 11, Chandler Stocking.
Chandler Stocking is up. He got on in the 2nd inning in his first at-bat on an error made by Colby Barnes at short. And then his 2nd time up in the 4th inning, he struck out. One of the 9 strikeouts for Mason DeVerna. Comes the pitch, and that's lined to third base. What a beautiful stop there by the third baseman. Throws over to first in time for the out. Trent Lowe over there at third base made a beautiful play, ranging to his left, fired on to first. Alex Nisbet for the out. And the Knights get out of the inning with no damage done. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score through 4.5. The Knights 5, the Yotes 2.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
It's 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap for mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles! Martin Cooper makes the mobile phone.
Elvis Presley died today.
The Space Shuttle Challenger is destroyed.
Have you played Pac-Man?
The 1996 Olympic Games is awarded to Atlanta.
Awaiting the new millennium and the Y2K bug.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Introducing iPod. Barack Obama has been elected president.
I pronounce that William and Catherine may be man and wife together.
Happy New Year. We wish you a happy and healthy 2014.
A lot has changed in the last 50 years, but there's one thing that hasn't. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
I'm Trent Lowe, third baseman. This is Knights Baseball on Knights Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Field. Leading off for the Knights is number 26, Colby Barnes, the shortstop. First pitch is a ball. Comes the second pitch from Campa, and that's in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on and missed from Colby Barnes, and the count goes to 1-2. That pitch hit him. Colby Barnes will take his base. It's the third hit batter for the Knights today. Back to the top of the order once again with Mason DeVerna. DeVerna is 1 for 3. He struck out line to the right fielder and had a double last time up. And that first pitch is laced left field, but that's going to be foul. I might have had plenty of distance, but unfortunately hooked it. Comes the 0-1 pitch from Campa. That's swung on and missed. Count goes 0-2. Knights have a runner on first base with nobody out. Comes the 0-2 pitch from Campa, and that's going to be another hit batter. Mason DeVerna takes it, and now the Knights have runners on first and second with nobody out. Number 1, Connor Hale, the left fielder, is now up. Connor has been on base once today. He walked his first time up back in the first inning. Here comes the first pitch. He shows bunt, pulls back, and a very interesting play there at second base. Colby Barnes almost got caught with his hands in the cookie jar, and Pete Bacon almost threw him out. Comes the 0-1 pitch from Campa. The bunt is laid down from Connor Hale. Pitcher goes to third base and gets the force out there, and Connor's on at first with the fielder's choice. On the play, DeVerna moves himself down to second base. The Knights have runners now on first and second still, with one out. That ball is lifted to the right field. That's going to be put away by the right fielder. Verna is going to get himself to third. And the Knights are now going to have runners on first and third with 2 outs. And in steps Mitchell Toma Britt. First pitch is swung on and missed from Toma Britt. Campa looks in and gets a sign from Pete Bacon. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Campa. That's fouled off to the left side this time. Haven't seen a whole bunch of foul balls fouled off there, but we sure have seen a plenty to right field into that dangerous parking lot right behind us. I'm sure there's been some broken sheet metal over there. That'll count as 0-2 on Toma Britt. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to hit him, the third hit batter of the inning. Toma Britt's going to be on first base. Connor Hale's going to move himself to second base, and the Knights are going to have the bases loaded again with Alex Nisbet due up.
the first baseman, number 4, Alex Nisbet.
Campa looks in for the sign. Gets it from Pete Bacon. Here comes the pitch to Nisbet, who fouls it off to the right side. Probably crunched another car out there. It's a dangerous spot here for the Yotes. Let's see if Nisbet here can capitalize. Golden opportunity. Here comes the pitch, and that's fought off to the right side. That was a bit on the hands. I'm sure that he probably felt that one a little bit. Here comes. Looks like Campa's going to call time. Didn't like what he saw. Comes the 0-2 pitch to Nisbet. And that's a great eye by Nisbet. That's a hard take. And he was able to do it. Thing was a little bit high. The count goes to 1-2. Comes the 1-2 pitch from Campa. Is swung on and missed. And that'll do it for the Knights in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nisbet strikes out. But the Knights still do have the lead. We move to the top of the 7th inning. Your score, the Knights 5, the Yotes 2.
It's time to burn calories, not cash, and get fit for summer at the #1 voted gym, Moo Fitness.
For less than $1 a day, you can feel like a million as you squat those inches away.
Or pump up the cardio in a fun, exciting class. Whatever it takes, Moo Fitness is here to help you get it done.
Jump in the gym this week and get fit for summer at Moo Fitness.
Guess I won't be making my famous burgers.
Text everyone to cancel. The Rivera say it's not even raining at their house.
Aren't they like 2 blocks away?
It is coming down out here.
It really is.
That was cheese.
Yes, it was.
Keep walking, Marge.
I bet this is a microstorm.
What's a microstorm?
I don't actually know.
Hey, my name is Sergio Soria, catcher. You're watching Nice Baseball on Nice Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Field. I want to remind you that not only have you been winning over here on the baseball field, but the softball team, they won 3 out of 4 this weekend against Corbin. They lost game 1, unfortunately, on a suicide squeeze bunt in extra innings. But after that, they rolled. They won game 2 by a final score of 8-2. 10-2, I'm sorry. And then today, they won game 1, 2-1, and then won game 4, 16-4. So a great day from them. As number 29, Connor Olson, steps into the play, and he looks that ball 1. If baseball here is able to hold on, comes the next pitch. That's low and outside. If baseball is able to hold on and get 2 wins today, that coupled with softball's 3 wins this weekend, that would make for quite the amazing weekend for Knights Athletics on the diamond. Next pitch is laced to center field. Jared Seibel ranges to his left, and he's there, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Catcher, number 26, Pete Bacon. Is that definitely one of the best names I've ever heard. Lucky guy with a name like that, I promise. He hits the first pitch he sees. It bounces off of the third baseman, Oh, that was so close. That was a great attempt there by the boys out there on the field. Trent Lowe, he tried to take a snap at it. Hit off of his glove, went straight to Colby Barnes, who's playing short. He was out by the cut of the grass as he ranged over to his right. Made the long throw over to first base, and it just wasn't in time. But that was a great attempt there. Give a base hit to Pete Bacon. In steps Cannon Morgan. And he lines it right up the middle for a solid base hit. Jared Seibel's there to stop it. Pete Bacon's making the turn. He's going to make it to third, sliding in head first. And Cannon Morgan stands up at first with a single that gives the Yotes a very good chance to get some runs here in the inning.
Now batting the right fielder, number 1, James Hull.
First pitch is in for a strike. Pardon me, the batter is number 1, James Hull. Count to him as 1-1. Comes the pitch from DeVerna. That's going to be straight to Colby Barnes, who steps on second for one. Relay to first, and it's in time to Alex Nisbet for the double play, and that gets the Knights right out of the inning and right out of a dangerous situation. What a beautiful job by Mason DeVerna to execute that pitch, and for Colby Barnes and everyone involved in that play to turn two and get the Knights out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score through 6.5. Knights 5, Yotes 2. 7th inning stretch time. Leading off for the Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning is number 13, Trenton Lowe. Takes the first pitch he sees and flies it to right field. Right field is there. Makes the catch for out number 1. Another hot hitter coming to the plate in the form of number 25, Matthew Revels, the catcher today. It's a beautiful song. Matthew Revels, 3 for 3 with a home run and a couple RBIs. Takes the first pitch he sees, swings right through it. Strike 1. Good healthy hack though. Comes the 0-1 from Campa. And that's laced to left field. That might land for another base hit. Oh, what a beautiful diving catch. Beautiful diving catch out there by number 7, Connor Olson. Or number 29, Connor Olson in left field. Robbed Matthew Revels of another base hit. He would have been 4 for 4 on the day. Instead, he's 3 for 4. Still not too bad. Jared Seibel is now the batter for the Knights. First pitch from Campa is a little inside for ball 1. Comes the 1-0 from Campa, and that's lined to center field. The center fielder is racing back, but it looks like he has a beat on it, and he does. He makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning, and that'll do it for the Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning. And we will move to the top of the 8th with your score, the Knights 5, the Oats 2.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles! Martin Cooper makes the mobile phone.
Elvis Presley died today.
The Space Shuttle Challenger is destroyed.
Have you played Pac-Man?
The 1996 Olympic Games is awarded to Atlanta.
Awaiting the new millennium and the Y2K vote.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Introducing iPod. Barack Obama has been elected president.
I pronounce that William and Catherine may be man and wife together.
Happy New Year. We wish you a happy and healthy 2014.
A lot has changed in the last 50 years, but there's one thing that hasn't. The Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
I'm Trent Lowe, third baseman. This is Knights Baseball on Knights Network.
Welcome back to the campus of the University of Portland at Joe Edsel Field. We do have a pitching change. Sean Hunt is on the mound now to pitch for the Knights. He is 0 for 1 in the win-loss department with 8 appearances. He has an ERA of 10.91, but he has quite the breaking ball. He had a pitch clocked a few weeks ago at Lewis and Clark State College in Lewiston, Idaho. That was clocked at 34 miles an hour. I'm sorry, 43 miles an hour. He tried to tell me it was a knuckleball, but I think it was more ephus than anything else. He's got a weird arm slot, but he's a very effective pitcher when he's on. Number 2, Ben Goff, is up, and he takes strike 1. Comes the second pitch, and that's going to be fought off to the second baseman, throw over to first. Alex Nisbet is in time for the first out of the inning. Number 9, Jack Ingram, is not a batter. Face Sean Hunt. First pitch to Ingram is a strike. Second pitch is lined to the second baseman again. Throw over to first base, and that's in time for out number 2. What a beautiful job there by Colin Schiller at second base. He had to range all the way to his right, had to kind of do a little foot first slide. Got the ball and was able to get up and throw the ball in time to Alex Nisbet for the second out of the inning, robbing Ingram of a base hit. In steps Caden Casagrande, who's going to try to not strike out again. If he does, it'd be his 4th strikeout of the game. And he will not strike out as the first pitch from Sean Hunt. Hits him right in the hip. And he'll take his bag.
Now batting for the Yotes, number 23, Jace Mulkey.
Chase Mulkey, number 23, is now the batter, with a runner on first with 2 outs.
Pinch runner, number 8, Evan Brown.
Pinch runner on first for Caden Casagrande is number 8, Evan Brown. Comes the pitch to Mulkey. That's lined once again to Colin Schiller. He fumbles but gets it, throws it over to Alex Nisbet, and they complete it for the 3rd out of the inning. All 3 outs go away of Colin Schiller to Alex Nisbet. Beautiful job by those two, as well as Sean Hunt, to spin a clean inning. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Knights 5, the Yotes 2.
Welcome to Move Fitness.
Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Sign up now with no enrollment fee. Move Fitness.
Let's go.
How's it going, guys? I'm Weston Groth, recruiting coordinator for Knights Baseball, and you're watching Knights Baseball on Knights Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Field on the campus of the University of Portland, as the Knights have a 5-2 lead going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's take a little bit of time and talk a little bit more about softball. The Knights were able to pull together another great win. There are 2 great wins today. 3 hits in Game 1, won the game 2-1. And then in Game 2, they were able to win that one 16-4, absolutely dominated the game. That game actually didn't go the distance. Looks like it just went 6. As the Knights were able to win via win-run rule.
The shortstop, number 26, Colby Barnes.
In steps Colby Barnes. A really cool developing story on the softball team. Shortstop Noi Barawas. She might be the new stolen base queen. She's 46 for 46 on the year. As the first pitch is swung on and fouled right into his knee. That doesn't feel good. Colby Barnes will walk that one off. Strike 1. That's definitely a tough way to get strike 1. Like I was saying, Noi is 46 for 46 in stolen bases. Here comes the pitch. That's outside. The record for the most stolen bases in the Cascade Collegiate Conference in a single season was done in 2018 by a girl that played for Southern Oregon. She had 55. Here comes the pitch. And that's swung on and picked by the shortstop. The throw over to first, and that's in time for the out. First out of the inning. Back to the top of the order with number 9, Mason DeVerna. But Noi, she had 4 more stolen bases yesterday. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to get any of those today. But she's going to have... Oh, here's the first pitch to DeVerna. That's a bunt, and that's a beautiful play. The pitcher was able to cover that position well as DeVerna was sprinting down the first base line. Definitely caught everyone by surprise, but good play by Campa to get that ball down to first base and record the out. Now there's 2 outs in the inning. Connor Hale is the batter. First pitch is a little bit low, but the ump called it a strike. Count as 0-1. Noyes is going to have 4 more games next weekend, final series of the year. It's going to be at home to try to make up those 9 stolen bases and either tie or get 10 and take the lead. So that'll be very interesting to watch next week for sure. As the ball swung and hit the other way for a base hit, Connor Hale gets on base. Little slapper down to right field. Did a great job letting that ball travel a little bit. Nice in and out swing, pushed that thing into right field. Now batting for the Knights is going to be number 21, Colin Schiller. Colin's been on base a couple times today. He's walked and also got on with the fielder's choice. First pitch to him is a strike. Knights got 1 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Trying to play a little bit more add-on. Here comes the next pitch from Campa, and that's fought off, fouled right back to the screen behind home plate. Count is now 0-2. Comes the next pitch from Campa. That's a little bit high. Count goes to 1-2. Schiller's ready. So is Campa. Here comes the pitch from Campa. Runner takes off. Hale's down to second, and he looks like he's going to be out. That was really close. To me, it might have looked like he'd been in safe, but the umpire was standing right on top of it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Pete Bacon threw a dart down to second base anyways. Connor had a good jump, but it was a great throw from Pete Bacon. And we move to the top of the 9th inning. Last chance now for the Yotes as they are down 5-2.
Education with purpose. For nearly 100 years, Warner Pacific University has been helping students achieve a purpose-driven life with degrees to serve their calling. As a Christ-centered university, Warner Pacific offers a wide variety of undergraduate and postgraduate programs on our campus located in the urban heart of Portland. Whether you're a first-time student or a working adult, come discover what Warner Pacific has to offer. Warner Pacific University. Education with purpose.
Hi, my name is Jeff Bard, head coach at Warner Pacific University. You're watching Knights Baseball on the Knights Network.
Welcome back to Joe Etzel Field as we head to the top of the 9th. Last try time for the Yotes as the Knights look to take the first 2 games of the series after losing 16 in a row. Sean Hunt is back out there to try to get the 6-out save. Don't see that every day. Chandler Stocking is going to be the batter to lead off the inning for the Yotes. First pitch is in there for a strike. An absolute beautiful pitch from Sean Hunt. Thing just bent in there. It's crazy with his arm slot. As that lefty, as that right-handed hitter, that looks like that's coming right at you. And then it just bends right back over the plate. Next pitch is a little outside. Count is 1-1. Sean Hunt does not have a save yet this year. So this would be a pretty cool day to get his first one. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Sean Hunt. And that's just clips the lower edge of the corner for strike 2. Count is even now at 2-2. Sean Hunt gets a sign from Matthew Revels, who's had a heck of a game. Here comes the pitch, and that might be in there for strike 3. Yes, it is. The umpire rings him up, and Sean Hunt gets the first strike out of the inning, and he's 2 outs away from completing the 6-out save. Connor Olson, number 29, is next batter. Comes the pitch now from Sean Hunt. That's fouled on back, and he's ahead early, 0-1. How big would this be after 16 losses in a row to get 2 in a row here to start this series? The next pitch is inside, and that's going to be ball. I thought they had a chance to hit him, but somehow it snuck in between, just past him, and got in there for a ball. Count is now 1-1. 1 away for Sean Hunt. Here comes the pitch, and that one is behind him. I guess it might have hit him. It must have clipped his jersey going behind him. And the Yotes now have a runner on first with 1 away. First pitch to the next batter, the catcher, Pete Bacon, is a ball. Pete Bacon had a beautiful throw down to second base. Got Connor Hale trying to steal to end the inning in the bottom of the 8th. Comes the 1-0 pitch from Sean Hunt. That's fouled behind the plate. Count goes even at 1-1. Knights are 1 pitch away from ending this. They did have a double play. A couple innings to go. They can get another one here. Could end the game. The pitch from Sean Hunt, that's in there for strike 2. The count goes to 1-2. Sean Hunt becomes set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that's fouled off of the foot. Pete Bacon fouled it right off of his foot. He must have fouled it off of a good part because he didn't look like he had any pain. I'll tell you, if I fouled it off my foot, there'd be some major flailing. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be outside. Count's going to be even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Connor Olson, second batter of this inning, he was hit barely by Sean Hunt. He's on at first. There's 1 away. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Sean Hunt, and that's laced to left field. That might be trouble into the corner. It is. Left fielder gets there, and he bobbles it a little bit, but gets it in time. But that's still a stand-up double. Off the bat of Peter Bacon. And the Yotes now have runners on at second and third with 1 out. That's huge because now the double play ball is not in play. Cannon Morgan is now the batter. Sean Hunt's going to have to do some fancy pitching. See if he's up for the task. Comes the first pitch to Cannon Morgan, and that's in there for a strike. Beautiful job by Sean Hunt, forgetting about that double and coming right back with a strike to the next batter. It's never an easy thing to do. Comes the 0-1 pitch from Sean Hunt. That's low for a ball, even the count at 1-1. Not only does Sean have a crazy arm slot, but he also sets up almost as far right as you can on the mound. So he's over there even more. So that really looks like it's coming right at you when it comes out of his hands. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and that's swung and missed. Huge cut there from Morgan. Swung right under it. Count goes to 1-2. Still 1 away. Yotes have runners on at second and third. Sean Hunt checks the runners, gets a sign from Matthew Revels. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's swung right up the middle. It hits Sean Hunt, goes to the third baseman, and there's going to be no throw. That'll be a base hit for Cannon Morgan. and that'll score a run, bringing the lead for the Knights down to 2. The score is now 5-3. In that hit by pitch, Connor Olson is the one who scored. That comes around. Now we're going to have a mound visit, see what happens here, if Bard is going to bring in another pitcher or what. Looks like he's just going to talk. The Yotes are going to have runners on first and third with one away. The good news, if any, is there is now a runner on first base, which means the double play is still in effect. I think Bard was just coming out to see if Sean was okay. Yep. He threw a warm-up pitch. Gives a thumbs up to head coach Jeff Bard. Bard walks back to the dugout. Sean Hunt will continue in this inning. There is some action in the bullpen. Not sure who that is down there. Can't quite make the number out. Looks like there's 2 warming up down there. So if it happens, Bart has a choice. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be a little bit low. I thought maybe that clipped the zone, but alas, it did not, and the count is 1-0. To the batter is James Hull. Next pitch is in there for a called strike. Evens the count up at 1-1. Comes a 1-1 pitch from Sean Hunt. And that's going to be a possible perfect double play. Here's the 1. There's 2. The relay to first. Oh, and he says he's safe. That's going to push a run across. That was a mighty close play over there at first base. And that makes it a 5-4 ball game. Ben Gaff is now the batter. Good news is there's only 1 runner on base, and he's at first base, so he's got a little ways to go. But the tying run, standing there at first base, Sean Hunt makes a move over there, try to keep him there. Two outs in the inning. Next pitch is a little low. That's going to be ball 1 to Ben Gaff. Just need 1 more out. Comes the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be swung to right field, and we got a man there. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Knights hold on to win the game 5-4. They win game 1 today and game 2, and are halfway there to taking the series. They'll try to get the series win tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Milwaukee High School. Sean Hunt picks up the 6-out save. Beautiful job by him to do what he needs to do to get out of that. Final score here from Joe Etzel Stadium. Knights 5, and the Yotes 4. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. There will not be a call for that game, unfortunately, with internet restrictions at Milwaukee High School. The games tomorrow will actually be on the Game Changer app. So make a note of that. You will need to download the Game Changer app and find Warner Pacific Knights baseball on there, and you'll be able to watch the game from there. Until next time, God bless and go Knights.